I am Afgoo and I am a custom cannabis cigar roller from South LA. I roll custom cigars, and basically I start with the idea of a Thai stick. The Thai sticks come from, of course, Thailand and Vietnam from back in the 60s and 70s. What they would do is they would take flowers of the cannabis plant, and they would wrap them around these sticks and tie them in place with hemp line. And these sticks were sold as units, and they were also sold to many soldiers for export purposes. Okay, and what I've done is I've taken the same idea of the stick, only I've removed the hemp line, leaving the nugs in place. Then I take cured cannabis leaves backed with cannabis oil or wax, and I use the wax as glue, and I wrap the Thai stick with leaves, and at the end I end up with a cigar. Okay, right now it's wrapped with a string, but what the idea is that you remove the string, you remove the stick, and you end up with a cigar. All right, this is a cone that I rolled for the Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg concert in Denver. Only logistics and time didn't really allow that to happen. But for this one, what I did is that I started off with this stick here, and I started wrapping leaves around it with oil. And this was going to be my center vent. Okay, and what I did is I grabbed about 2.5 ounces of bud, and I completely wrapped it around here, similar to the Thai stick, right? And basically what it looks like. After I compressed the nugs on there, I coated about 8 grams of wax, and there's also about 4 grams of hash in here too. This one should burn anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, assuming it burns evenly.
Okay.
As far as a product, I used about $2,000 worth of product.
So it would be how much?
Probably double that.
That would for $4,000.
About 4,000. Okay, this one is a basic regular single vented cannabis cigar. These are an average size. I use 7 to 8 grams of cannabis flowers. I use about 4 grams of wax or cannabis oil, and anywhere from 1 to 2 grams of hash. Para hacer algo así duro más o menos como de 2 a 3 semanas, y todo está hecho en fases. Las fases son el promedio de unas 5 o 6. Hay veces que le trabajo 1 hora al día, hay veces que nomás le puedo trabajar 5 minutos al día. A este punto pienso que ya llevo como unos 350.
It looks like it would be very harsh, but it definitely is not. It's very smooth. I mean, it doesn't burn, really. It's not harsh. It tastes very, very good. I mean, it's just so much complexity. You really don't know what you're tasting. You just know it tastes good. One of my roommates told me about him. I wasn't following him on Instagram at the time. I found out about him from my roommate. He said, this guy rolls a whole bunch of Thai sticks and stuff. I'm like, the hell's the last time somebody rolled a Thai stick? So I checked it out, and I thought it was like one of the most amazing Instagram feeds on Instagram. So I started following him, and I met him at the San Bernardino Cup. So I met him this year for the first time, back in February. I passed that huge Thai stick to B.O.B. on stage while he was performing. He had no idea, which I thought was pretty cool. It was like passing a torch. It was like 8 bucks big. It was like passing a torch to him. He thought it was pretty cool, I guess. I didn't really talk to him after that. I just passed him the torch. I called it a torch because it looked like a torch. I think every event should be started off with something like that.
Marijuana for me is medicine. It is a tool. It is a way for me to gather my thoughts. It is a way for me to be able to cope with life. It is many things. It depends on what I'm smoking and what I'm smoking it for. That's the beauty of it. There's just so many possibilities with it. One of the main reasons why I keep my identity so secret is because I don't want my family finding out about this aspect of my life. They still see cannabis as under a dark dark light. They're not as open-minded as I am. So I don't want them to worry over me. I don't want them to be concerned. So I think that the less they know about it, the better. Okay, and there's also the security aspect of it. Okay, I don't want my neighbors finding out that I do this. You know, I don't want like the wrong people finding out of the type of stuff that I have at home, because I don't want visits when I'm not there.
Every day is a gunshot, and another one get dropped. Every day is a gunshot, and another one get dropped. And we no want no more of that.
Well, when I was growing up, I remember that my parents would sit down and like in the evening and watch, noticiero in the evening. They would watch news and every story that had involved marijuana either involved like a big time bust. It involved the cops. It involved people getting killed over like a mafia associated event. In other words, it was all negative. They never really specified like what marijuana did to you, or what were the effects, or why it was wrong for you, if anything. But I just remember it always being like a negative, and it was like an obvious to everybody that it's like it was something that you just had to stay away from. At least in my household. Usualmente se escucha que si fumas marihuana te vas a hacer más lento, te vas a perder la motivación. Todo el tiempo te vas a pasar dormido, no vas a aprender nada en la escuela. Quizás te dé por probar otro tipo de drogas, de sustancias. Hay muchas cosas que han sido inventadas durante el tiempo para ayudar sobre la campaña en contra de la marihuana. La marihuana es una medicina y es una herramienta. Cada linaje, cada strain de marihuana tiene su purpose, okay? Tiene su razón. Entonces hay unos linajes que son perfectos para dormir y son para el dolor. Mientras hay otras que son, por ejemplo, sativas, que son para la creatividad, son para dar energía, son para mantener la actitud positiva. Entonces, si alguien fuma una índica que es para el dolor y es para dormir, y vamos a decir que la fuma durante el día o en la mañana, si de repente le da por dormir o le da sueño, y pues es lo que la marihuana hace. Claro. Al menos es el linaje. Entonces la gente que se queja es porque están fumando algo que no, lo que pasa es que no están informados. Yo pienso que ya cuando se trate de conectar la marihuana con libertad personal, pienso que la gente pienso que ese concepto sería como decir, ¿sabes? Yo voy a fumar porque ellos me están diciendo que no debería hacerlo. Okay. Entonces yo pienso que la marihuana pienso que la marihuana debería ser un concepto de la superación personal, no nomás la libertad, porque esto la marihuana te hace pensar diferente, te hace analizar las cosas diferente, y te abre tu mente a tantas cosas que te pasan tan rápida durante el día que ni te das cuenta. Te da la oportunidad de poder apreciar las cosas muy, muy pequeñas, entre muchas cosas, entre muchas posibilidades que tiene la marihuana. Okay. O sea, es por eso que menciono la superación, porque te da la oportunidad de enseñarte algo que siempre estuvo ahí. Pero al final del día, cuando ya se calme el humo, después de las primeras semanas que pasaron, que cuando ya se legalizó todo, por decir que cuando llegue ese día, lo bueno sería informarse, lo bueno sería saber lo que uno está fumando, saber lo que a uno le afecta, el aspecto de la salud en general. Por ejemplo, si yo padezco de dolor, si yo padezco de la insomnia, entonces yo tengo que ir con el conocimiento de lo que yo necesito cuando se trate de ir a conseguir la marihuana.